Thank you for your interest in Cyber Church of Christ. We'd love to study Bible with you anytime. If you have any Bible question with even a random, let us know. That's what we do. We love the truth and we prove the truth. So we normally have topics. If you look into our YouTube channel, we appreciate that. You'll see most of them are in topics. Today's topic is called spiritual crowns. The thing about topics is uh, when you're studying it, there's multiple topics in multiple verses. So sometimes you'll see the same verse because it's a different topic. Today's no different. So today's we're calling it spiritual crowns. What exactly is spiritual crowns, and it's plural. We'll find out in today's lesson. So we have a physical crown. You highlight this. A physical crown can be seen and is given by man. A spiritual crown is unseen and given by God. Jesus was presented a spiritual crown of glory and honor after his human death. Now, what I don't have listed there is Jesus was given a physical crown. On the day of his death, they they made a homemade little crown with thorns, so that if you planted it on top of his head, it would bleed wherever the thorn was. So yes, he actually at one point, well, as part of his humility, that he died for us, is that yeah, he even had a crown that we're thinking of crowns. I'm thinking monarchy, where you have a king, queen type deal, and there's a fancy Nancy crown with all kinds of jewels on it. That's fiscal crown, and it goes to the royalty, and is presented by who? It was presented by a man of some sort, some type of authority. Okay. Well, let's keep that in mind for a spiritual crown. What kind of crown is it, and who is doing the giving of the crown? All right. So let's start off with Isaiah 62:3, that says here, and this would what we call prophecy. So, like Ezekiel and Isaiah, a lot of those all have prophecy about Jesus. Well, this is one of them. This is where it's written about Jesus becoming what he became on planet Earth, which is our Lord and Master. This Isaiah 62:3, thou shalt also be a crown of glory in the hand of the Lord, and a royal diadem in the hand of thy God. So what exactly does that mean? Well, I have shout here underlined because it's a future tense. See, that's how we know that this is uh, prophecy. Is because, hey, he's going to be crowned. And what kind of crown is Jesus going to have? It says here it's going to be a crown of glory. So a crown of glory in the hand of the Lord. Okay, so now I found out the authority, who it is that has the crown that's presenting the crown. And this capital Lord there, in case you're new to us, there's a difference between all caps Lord and a mixed case. This being our Father when he had the title Lord. That's a different topic, but I encourage you to look that up on our YouTube channel. And a royal diadem. Now, what is diadem? Well, it only appears in the Old Testament. So you don't see the word diadem in the New Testament, but it's basically what you would a turban, I guess, would be the best description of today. A turban, some type of wrap around the top of your head, but it signifies some type of authority. Okay, so this one would be a royal diadem. All right, now let's move on to Hebrews. If you're in Hebrews, it's going to be a lot of what we call milk and meat. There would be a lot of meat in Hebrew statements. But we see Jesus, who was made a little lower than the angels for the suffering of death, crowned with glory and honor, that he, by the grace of God, should taste death for every man. Okay, so he was born a regular human being and lived a life here just like any other human being, and then he's going to die like any other human being? Well, yeah, as far as that goes, but how he lived and how he died is what we follow today. So we should live the same type of life that he lived, because we have the great example. All right, so he was made lower than the angel. If you wanted to study angels and what all happened before their creation, this verse would come up. He was made a little lower than the angels because why? Well, we have a study out there on angels that I encourage you to follow. And that's because the angels don't have a birth and death, for one thing. Okay, and they're ministering spirits. But he was made lower than the angels because why? Because he's going to be a human being on planet Earth. And no angels were ever human beings on planet Earth, were born and died and went back to heaven. And all of them all existed before, as far as the scriptures go, before the world was. But so the only angel selected was our Lord. And then he came and what did he do? He tasted death for every man. So he would know what it's like to be a human being and being alive and then dying. Okay. So let's look at our next section here. How and when does man get blessed with a spiritual crown? Since you just said, or just read anyway, that Jesus had a crown, yeah, and a physical crown because they made one out of thorns. But he gets a spiritual crown from our Father, and in Hebrews there it was called what? Glory and honor. That's kind of a crown he has. Now that brings a question: how and when does man get blessed with a spiritual crown? Since I know you gave one to Jesus. So how is it that or is there even such a thing as us having a spiritual crown? So there's kind of two answers to this. So let's look at the first answer. Those that love uh, their high priest, those that love their high priest and endure temptation are blessed with a spiritual crown of life. Okay, we'll have to look at that. So love their high priest. Okay, that's me. I love the high priest. Endure temptation. All right, so yes, I have endured temptation before, slipped a few times, endured temptation. So I got blessed with a spiritual crown of life. Well, yeah, but this love of your high priest, this love here could mean what? That you're going to love. If you love me, you'll keep my commandments. Oh, so you don't just get to say, I love Jesus or I love the high priest. Well, actually, you prove all things. You prove your love for the high priest by following the commandments. It's his Father's commandments that he obeyed. And you know what? They're easy to follow. That they're easy to do. There's no commandment I can't do. Okay. So the idea is what? Well, something gets in the way called sin. All right. So yes, do you love your high priest? Yes. If you endure temptation, then you get blessed with a spiritual crown of life. All right. Give me a little more detail on that. James 1:12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, and there's a colon there. For when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. Okay. So I explained a little bit about loving him. It's actually proved instead of stated. You'd prove you love him by keeping the commandments. Okay, endure temptation. When does this occur? All day, every day. I mean, there's always going to be temptation out there. It's an evil world. And or else you wouldn't have the verb endure, unless that you're going to encounter it. So saying, hey, you're going to encounter temptation. You need to endure it. And besides, we have other lessons about getting rewarded in the end, that type of thing. All right. So this is multiple topics in it also, but today's topic is crowns, spiritual crown. So what did you call this crown? Crown of life. Okay. And who has the crown that they're going to give me, this crown of life? The Lord promised. So, okay, so we had our Father give Jesus the crown with glory and honor. And now, since Jesus is in charge of all human beings, he's going to give out the crown of life to who? For those that love him. So, what about these he that are on here? You got a he, the man. I've got the man here. I've got he. So these are all has to do with the male of the species. No, this is once again, man means mankind. So no, that includes all the females. It's not gender specific. Okay. He and them and them and then they. Look in the Bible or study with us and you'll see that that has to do with man in general, meaning male and female. Yeah, man means male and female most, unless it says they're a man that went up to some town, then you know it's specific. But study with us, you'll find out. But no, it's not. When you see man in there, it's going to be mankind. It's going to be for all of us. Now look at this warning that comes with that. We got a warning that says we have a commandment to hold fast, which means don't let go, our crown of life, because it can be taken away by man. Okay, wait a minute. So when I studied this, I found out, when I got baptized and became a new man coming up out of the grave of watery grave of baptism, and I got awarded a crown. Okay. Well, I'm just going to keep this crown and then I'll be saved in the end and I'll have this crown. Okay, well, so you're saying no one can take the crown? Well, no, once I'm saved, I'm always saved, so I'll always have this crown. Okay, well, here's another verse where it says that's wrong. You're not always saved. Yes, you got issued this crown and you should be wearing it on your spirit, but you know what happened? Man can come along and take it away. And what do we mean by man? Well, this case, it means the world. So it would be Satan using persons, places, and things to do what? To give you a temptation that you won't endure, and then the crown goes away. So no, I mean it's disappointing for me. I was baptized young, adolescent. So was some of my friends. And now when I contact them saying, hey, you need to get back in the kingdom and all, well, they go, well, the things of the world, so your crown's gone. Yeah, that's what's happened. So the crown's gone. Now, are you breathing? You can get your crown back. But right now, if you're not following the commandments and holding fast, no, then it'll be taken away. You know what? Satan sees that crown. You can't see it physically, but Satan's in the spiritual world and this spiritual crown. So yeah, he knows who got crowned and who didn't. So what is he going to do? Well, we'll take it away. So yes, it can be taken away. So that's the warning we have here, that you need to hold fast. Don't let go of your crown because it can be taken away by man. All right, so let's look at that verse. Revelation 3:11. And the reason why this is red letter is because Jesus is teaching here. Behold, I come quickly. There's a colon there. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Oh, so that's what you meant by the crown can go away. Yeah, I got it. Now I got a commandment. So, oh yeah, we issued you a command. You got a crown. You got a spiritual crown, but the commandment comes with it. What commandment? This right here. This hold fast. It says, yeah, I gave you the crown, but you better hold on to it because why? Because man can take it away. Where is that? Right there, Revelation 3:11. He says, hey, hold fast with that, no man take thy crown. So yes, the world, the family, the man, other human beings, all this trouble I'm going in. Yeah, you know what the goal is? Get that crown off your head. That's what. Right now, that spirit has a crown, bothers Satan. So what he's got to do is devise a device. Did you know the device is to get rid of that crown? That's what's bugging Satan. You're wearing that crown, you're getting forgiveness of sin, you're enduring temptation. Huh. And the crown stays on there. Well, Satan's goal is let me get that crown off of there. Well, then we get a warning from our high priest. Hey, don't let any man take the crown. Yeah, just because you have it now, I mean, it can't be taken away. It can be taken away. All right. Now let's look at the second part of this answer. That was the first part. Second part is this crown of righteousness. Look at this answer too here. The crown of righteousness is an incorruptible crown. It is stored in heaven and is to be obtained by our soul during our earthly life. It is awarded by the judge at Judgment Day. Boy, that's a mouthful there. So you asked about a spiritual crown. Yes. Well, there's actually a crown of righteousness. That's what we're going to call it. Okay, you got a crown of righteousness, and it's where now? Well, it's in heaven. That's how it's incorruptible. Things on earth are corruptible. Okay, so you're wearing this crown on earth, this spiritual crown. Yeah, man can take it away. But this word incorruptible means what? Well, it means it can't be taken away. It can't be corrupted. It's going to stay perfect. And you know what? It has a name to it. We're going to call it an incorruptible crown. It's a crown of righteousness. Okay, that's what doing God's will is. It's righteous. Okay, so anyway, I have a crown waiting on me. That's good news. Uh, and it's where now? It's stored in heaven. Okay, now how does that get taken away? Well, did you get rid of the crown that you had awarded there when you got baptized in on the earth? Yeah, yeah, I didn't do any of the commandments after that. Okay, then why are you expecting a crown up here? You already got rid of your other crown. Okay, so that's the warning. Yeah, that's the warning. You hold fast what you got. All right, now let's look at the verses that back that up. 1 Corinthians 9:25. And every man that striveth for the mastery and temperate is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible. All right, so I'd have to then go and look at these pronouns again. What kind of pronouns are we talking about here? Well, we got man, all things. That's a pronoun for something. They. Who is this they? They is not us. Oh, we have an incorruptible crown. Isn't that what you said your goal was to get in heaven? Yeah. Well, you know what man does? You see this every man thing? Yeah, every man's doing what now? They're obtaining a corruptible crown. What's a corruptible crown? Well, money, uh, fame, whatever things that brings you praise from your fellow man. Yeah. And man can actually put a crown. You can actually become king of a country and get a physical crown. Okay. And so you obtain that. Yeah. Okay. Well, how to obtain this? Because this verb here is kind of standing out on me. I've got a verb here that says obtain. Obtain. What do you mean by obtain? Well, that means you didn't have it to begin with, and now you do have it. That's what obtain means, obviously. Okay, so there was a corruptible crown. Yeah, it's on planet Earth. Well, what about my crown? Well, it's incorruptible. It's in heaven. Yeah, it's waiting on you. And I'm going to get awarded this spiritual crown. Yeah, yeah, by whoever the judge is. Well, judge is my high priest. Okay. Well, there's the answer. Why don't you just strive to keep that crown, right? I want to keep the crown that I have been awarded here on planet Earth. then I'll get a permanent crown in heaven. All right, so let's look at so this was a whole lesson when I'm doing it. I go, hey, there's people out there that thinks once I got saved, I'm always saved. And I'm saying, okay, you had a crown at one point. Is that what you're saying? And now the crown permanently stays on there? Well, not according to these scriptures. These scriptures says that crown can be taken away. And actually, that's what Satan likes to do. That's what he does. That's why he's here. All right, let's look at this last verse we're going to look at today. 2 Timothy 4:8. Henceforth, what does henceforth mean? That means from now on. Henceforth there is laid up. Okay, well, that's future perfect tense, laid up. Yeah. What do you mean, like stored? Yeah, it's laid up. Henceforth there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness. All right, that's where you got that term. So there's a crown of righteousness that's stored. Uh-huh. And who has it now? Well, let's read this. And henceforth there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, shall, okay, that's future tense again, give me at that day. And there's a colon. I'm going to stop at that colon for a minute. All right, so now you tell me my crown is up in heaven and it's stored there, and the spirit that's in charge of the crown and giving it out is Lord. Well, that's his title, yes, but at that point he's called your judge. Oh, okay. So I'm going to get judged there in the end. Yeah, and the result is what? Well, you're going to get a crown. It's laid up for you. Okay, and does it have a name? Yeah, it's crown of righteousness. Oh, and the righteous judge is a rewarding what? Righteousness. So if I was to study the term righteous, what does righteous mean? What is righteousness? Yeah, this verse would come up. Oh, okay. And he shall give to me in that day. Well, then I'd have to go find out that day's judgment day. Well, yeah, that'll be easy to prove. So on that day, he shall give me. So no wonder he wants me to keep the crown I have now. I have to keep the spiritual crown that I have now that I was awarded when I got baptized, and I want to hold on to it. I want to endure all these temptations that come my way, but they're only coming away while you're alive here on planet Earth. Now, you're not tempted in the hereafter. And the righteous judge has my crown. Yeah, he's got it stored there. It's laid up. And then he's going to give it to me. Well, yeah, we got the one pronoun that says me on the thing, don't we? He's going to give me at that day. But not me only, but unto all them that love his appearing. So no, I'm not the only guy getting the crown. There's a crown laid up for all of us. What you got to do is use the crown that you've been given for today, but you're going to live a Christian life. You're going to do things called righteous. Then on the end, you get this crown of righteousness. So the crown I have now, no, the crown you have now is not the crown of righteousness. No, the crown of righteousness is waiting on you. It's laid up. And we find out here, not only does it exist, we know who has it and who's going to give it out. Lord has it, righteous judge, the righteous judge shall give. So I already know he has it. But not to me, but you know what? We want you, we being Cyber Church of Christ, we want you to get this crown of righteousness in the end. That's why we exist. We're trying to save some from the lake of fire. Saying, hey, do you know anything about the spiritual crown? Come study with it. You know that spiritual crown you have now can be taken away? Come study with it. Did you know that there's a permanent crown of righteousness stored up there? And the goal is to have that rewarded to you when? On that day, on the judgment day. And he's saying, not only you, but I have several crowns here to hand out. They're stored. I'm just waiting on what? Judging you. If you're judged accounted worthy, you get this crown of righteousness. Anyway, that's today's lesson. Now, it's a high level view But you get the idea. Get the idea that you have a spiritual crown and that we'll have a crown of righteousness waiting for us in the hereafter. So we want to be judged and be accounted worthy and receive our crown of righteousness, which would then be able to be seen by whom? Well, by the other spirits. There's nothing hid in the hereafter. No. What's hid now? That's because why? Because that's facts. We're dealing with faith. So it's only hid from man. It's not hid spiritually, just hid physically. Okay. So anyway, I hope you got something. It was a lot of learning here, just preparing this lesson, because there was a lot in here. So anyway, I hope you got something out of it. We love you. We're the Cyber Church of Christ. We'd love to have you join us. You can get contact the same time here at cybercochrist@gmail, and we'd love to hear from you. We're the Cyber Church of Christ. We love you. Hope you have a great day.